sorry, we got interrupted there, and on this path you do get interrupted a lot, so you might feel, you know, things coming towards you quite fast as well on this path, but then you can also get quite abruptly interrupted and, you know, come to an upside down, topsy-turvy, not knowing what's going to come next situation. And they're telling me to go to my twin flame cards. I knew this was going to be twin flame reading, soulmate reading. So I'm just going to put the cards there. I'm just going to go with it because they're telling me that nothing has to be in the mess. They're saying in the mess is magic. The mess is the magic. So they're telling me that, you know, I have to be a little bit more fluent and just go with it. They're telling me, saying just go with it. Yeah, just go with it. And you know, these messages, they have been coming through for a few days for me, but I've been that busy lately with my markets and winter and that I've not had the time really to stop and do readings, you know. I've been that busy. But this song, you know, how we're going in reverse, we feel like we're going backwards. Cheryl Cole, that has been coming through. And I just took the time just before coming online to have a little bit of you know, quiet time, sat down and that, and that's when I receive my downloads and spirit can get full to me. They're saying it's about time, Ellie, because, you know, yeah, that's when in the quiet, that's when I receive my downloads. You know, I'm always receiving them, and I'm a channel, clear as, you know, anything I know about. But yeah, spirit's telling me not everything has to be perfect, and you know, we can just flow with it, you know. And in that mess is the magic. That is where the things are happening, although you can't see it. In that, you know, in that upside down, topsy-turvy kind of place where we all get to sometimes, there's magic happening. So, let's see. Right. Yeah, I have been getting the downloads that nothing has to be, you know, perfect, and the perfectionist in me needs to be a bit more, you know, chilled. And we got open chapter, and we got there are still pages to write, so make them great. Revisit, enjoy, keep going. Yeah, and you know, following on what I was saying, you on this path, you do you know, stop and start, and you do feel like you're going backwards half the time. Most of the time you feel like you're going backwards, but Spirit's saying, you know, in these times where you feel upside down, topsy-turvy, going backwards, Spirit wants you to know, you know, there's still more to come. So in these times where you feel like it's just come to a halt as well, Spirit's saying, you know, keep going, you know, and yeah, like revisit, you know, just go back to the start, and just look at where you've come from, you know, look at what you've come through. You know, you've become the alchemist, you know, of your life, you know, you're creating that magic. So Spirit's saying in these times where you know, you feel you're imprisoned by these bars and you're in your own mind and you feel like you're going backwards. I'm not going to be able to get this song out of my head again now, and it's been playing on a loop. Yeah, constant. It's been popping up on my TikTok, and yeah, that's what happens when, you know, on this path. I get songs, music. It's very, very, what's the word? Can't think of the words tonight. Spirit, help me out. The music for me is the, well, so it's all of the channeling, but it's part of our channel. So music, they get messages through to me in, you know, music, and yeah, that back to the start, you know. So Spirit's saying revisit if you need to revisit, but keep going. There's nothing wrong with revisiting all of what you have come through, or you know what you've worked through. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. Spirit's saying revisit. But you know, there's still pages to write, so make them great. So you can revisit something, but Spirit's saying don't get lost in, you know, the dark corners of your mind. You know, don't get locked up, you know, in your mind again. You've done that. You've alchemized that already, you know, to get to this point. You're that magician, you're the alchemist. But Spirit's saying it's fine to revisit all of what you have healed. It's fine to go back to, you know, and revisit things. But Spirit's saying, you know, you've turned those wheels, you know. Those wheels have turned now. And yes, you will have times on this journey where you feel like this, upside down, topsy-turvy, and that's fine, Spirit's saying, but don't get locked, you know, don't be a prisoner in your own mind and think, oh, that's it again, you know, we're stuck on this hamster wheel, you know, never getting off, and just, you know, constant, it's the same thing. No, that wheel's turned. When you get this, the wheel's turned. And when you get the magician, you've alchemized, you know, and that chariot, that's fast moving action coming towards you. Yes, this card came out that way, and usually I don't read, you know, reversals. I don't do that, but yeah, there's meaning why this card came out upside down, topsy-turvy, you know, and there's meaning in that song that I keep getting, going back to the start. And this card, yeah, you can revisit it, and that's what I have been doing lately. I've been revisiting all of what I've alchemized on this path up until this point, and you know, looking back and thinking how much I've gained and how much I've come through and how much, you know, wisdom, and you know, I've become that alchemist, that magician. So how much I've gained, you know, from this path also. But yeah, there's more pages to write, Spirit is saying. So let's put that there. Any more? Let's see. Oh, I'll see if there's any more. I'm dropping everything. Yeah, I don't read reversals. If you follow me, you'll know that I don't ever read reversals. I try and keep it truthful, very, very truthful. But I try to keep it, you know, all about the light. My channel is Ellie's Messages of Light, you know. So oh, right, so I'm going to take them cards that came out. So that came out, leap forward, and that came out. So that's the cards we need. See, now my reading's very unconventional, aren't they? They're just, so leap forward. Seize the moment and let yourself be loved fully. Movement, speed, progress. Yeah. Now, leap forward. and the Chariots are the same, but different, you know, different oracle cards, different decks. So yeah, fast action, forward movement. Spirit saying you can still create that, although you feel like you're upside down, stuck, topsy-turvy. And the cards are all topsy-turvy. And my readings are getting funny by the day. And very unconventional, just like the twin flame path. So, yeah. So where were we? So we've got the Chariot, and we've got leap forward. Right. So, yeah, Spirit's saying, you know, progress forward still. Although you feel like you know, you can be stood still and you know, that wheel's not turning, and you feel like you're upside down and topsy-turvy, and, you know, you might feel like you're getting locked up in, you know, the bars of your mind, you know, that prison of your mind, the ego mind, that you've already, you know, you've been in there and you've healed. Some of it, yeah. Spirit's saying, seize the moment and let yourself be loved fully, movement, speed, progress. And these cards, yeah, the movement forward, they're about, you know, putting that ego mind out of the way, and, you know, fast forward movement action. Both of those cards. So it could mean something's going to come towards you, or you're going to move towards that. You take it how it, you know, resonates. But yeah, going forward, fast moving action. And this came out, free flight. And I love this card. It's one of my favourite cards in this pack. And it's give one another space to grow individually, release, breathe and clear. And, you know, butterflies, transformation. You know, when you start this journey, you know, you start this journey trapped in your mind, in that prison, those bars, hardly any light, you know, a bit more in the shadow when you start this journey. By the end of the journey, you know, that's through going into your shadows, going into those bars of your mind, that prison of your mind, and you become the magician, and you dare to go into your mind. You know, it's a and then, you know, it's a quite a thingy, quite a, what's the word, scary place to go, you know, when you go into your mind, your ego mind, you know, and you face things in yourself that you don't really like about yourself, but you face them because, you know, you really want to spiritually evolve, and you know, when you're spiritually awakening, these are the things that you come across, you know, to face, is the ego mind and the shadows. So yeah, you become the alchemist, and by you know, becoming that alchemist and realizing your own power, and, you know, you have that power inside yourself to heal, and we all do, then the turning of the wheel comes. So, you know, you create that momentum, you create that movement, you know, forward, not going backwards, like the song says. Going backwards. I love this song. So, you know, we create that by becoming, you know, that magician and alchemizing all our ego mind. So that wheel turns, and then we start leaping forward, you know, taking these big leaps forward. Although we still might feel we're there, we are, you know, in the upside down world, we are not getting anywhere, we are just, yeah, you know, not very, things aren't very, you know, clear to us, and like, yeah, things aren't coming through as clear as we'd like, you know, at that stage. And this, you know, Spirit's saying release that. And I did say flow, you know, and this says free flight. So when we started this reading at the beginning, Spirit was coming through, you know, saying in the mess, you know, that 10 of Pentacles upside down, that's the mess. 10 of Pentacles upright, that's like you don't get any more. Yeah, you know, 10 of Pentacles upright is a brilliant card to get, you know, but it came out upside down. So, but that's the way Spirit's getting this message across, you know. But yeah, free flight, you know, these two butterflies taking free flight, and you know, they're not together, but you know, they're a little bit far apart, but they're not together, you know. So they're separate, but they're still, you know, they can still see each other, you know, they can feel each other. And you know, that's what twins do. We feel each other, we feel what the other feels, and yeah, you know, but they're separate. And to be, you know, to go into this, you know, this deep healing and the you know, the shadows of your mind, you have to give each other space to grow individually. That is where the healing is done. That is where the shadow work's done. That, you know, the introspection, that deep healing. Yeah, you can't do it together. It's got to be done separate. I've gone through this phase, and you know, I'm in physical with my twin now, and yeah, we're creating fast moving, you know, action forward. But yeah, sometimes, excuse me, it's been a very busy week already. I don't feel like I'm upside down on this journey, and I don't feel like I'm going to get to my 10 of Pentacles anytime soon. With all, you know, my hard work that I do on this journey, and it's hard work, and I can't stress that enough. We have everything going on for us, you know. That's daily life, but also spiritual, our spiritual mission, what we're here for. We have a lot, you know, and it's all to do with helping others. And you know, sometimes in that, you know, I want to be a perfectionist, and yeah, you can't keep that up, you know. Everything I do to the best of my ability, and I try to do it, you know. Yeah, I try to do it perfect, but the Spirit's saying quite clearly in the, you know, in the mess, that is the magic. So yeah, I think that's it. Is that it? Drawn to beyond Lemuria. We'll get one Lemuria. But yeah, you know, this reading, the way it's set out, I mean, I just randomly stick my decks. Yeah, you know, this is how it works for me. And then, you know, the readings come out the way it's come out. Yeah, you know, and that's what I'm learning still also. Because if you've been following me a while, this is, you know, it's real time. I'm still on my journey. I'm still learning. Always be learning. You never stop learning on this journey. But I'm also learning that, you know, that how Spirit comes across to me and how my readings flow out is how they're supposed to be. I'm not supposed to control that. I'm saying you're getting it now, Ellie. I'm not supposed to control that, you know. I'm supposed to let it free flow. So I don't see, so Spirit's saying basically, if I don't see organisation and the way the cards come out, and maybe just one deck, you know, I use, but I don't. When Spirit tells me to get all my decks, I know that it's just gonna, you know, it's gonna come out the way it's gonna come out. It's not conventional, so to speak. But yeah, Spirit's getting a big message across to me about just letting things fall as they may fall, you know. And not want to control that and organise that, and see organisation in the mess, you know. You don't have to always see organisation. The mess is where the magic is. The mess is where, you know, the magic happens. So they're just saying, be in the mess, Ellie. Be in the mess. So, let's have a look on the Mary card. What do my Lemurian elders want to do? Ooh, let's see. Oh, cards come out like that. Yeah, there's two cards there, but it's stuck, so no, I'm not going to take that. Yeah, I like this message because I put a lot of pressure on myself to be, you know, perfect and have everything, yeah, perfect, and it's a lot of pressure, you know, to put on yourself. I'm in a mess now. I've made a right mess and I've just tidied up today. Spirit's saying it doesn't matter. And I've got this, so Starseed Elemental. Wow, look at the colours in this card. Wow, wow, wow. That looks like it's got the full spectrum. It's yellow, green, blue, purple. And just take this card in. It's very powerful healing in these cards. And I'm going to read from the book. Shall I put it there? Can we see it? Is it going to fall? Spirit's saying, let it fall where it may. So I shall. And if it falls, it falls. It's meant to. Spirit's saying, if it falls, it's meant to. And in falling, it creates something new. You know, sometimes when we fall, we have to fall to, you know, to create something new. And this is children as teachers, fun, lightheartedness, joy, laughter, newly incarnated souls, the child within, maintaining an inquisitive perspective, a wonder and imagination. Oh yeah, like being perfect and wanting everything organised and wanting that control. Well, it's kind of an adult thing, isn't it? It's, you know, we're adults and we have to have everything perfect and just how we want it, and yeah, control the situation. This card to me, before I even read the book out, Spirit's saying to bring out that inner child in us, you know, play, be joyful, laugh, be in the mess, you know, and be okay being in that mess. It's okay to be in a mess and not know which way's up or down, you know, like this card, upside down. It's okay. In the mess is the magic. So, yeah, I'm going to read from this now, but inner child. Yeah. Sometimes adulting can become too serious. Just what I said. When this happens, bringing a childlike, light-hearted sense of play to your perspective can be the most productive way to rebalance. Facing challenging circumstances with inquisitiveness can bring joy to whatever we are accomplishing. Yeah, just exactly what I just said. You know, our inner child, it needs to be free, it needs to play. You know, as adults, we do become so robotic, is the word. We become, you know, go, 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 go. Must achieve, and yeah, controlling. And yeah, just being with, the saying, just being with children can be a great way to recapture wonder, innocence, unapologetic truth and wisdom. Their realities are not yet muddled by shoulds or cannots, and their imaginations are often so wild and creative that they can be our biggest inspirers. Furthermore, as their incarnation from pure spirit is more recent, they are still aware of energy and have a natural psychic awareness. Yeah, you know, as adults, we can overthink, can't we? We can get in these you know, these bars of our mind. We can put ourselves in that prison, you know, and oftentimes it is ourselves putting us in that prison, you know. But Spirit's saying, as children, we are, you know, we're light-hearted and we're joyful and we're playful, and we've not yet been numbed down, you know, by life as such. We've not been, yeah, we've not had those gifts took from us that we're born with, all of us. But yeah, becoming adults, you know, we become too serious. And Spirit's saying, think back to when you were little and what you loved to do. Remember how the world felt around you and how magical and mysterious things may have been. What has changed? What would you tell the 7-year-old you? The little people of today will be the inventors, creators and leaders of tomorrow. How can we help nourish their big souls to ready them for an optimal journey through life? Right now, powerful souls are incarnating on Earth to help with the progression of this planet. All children are equally special, but some may have different or unique needs due to their more sensitive and energetic natures. The ways children were brought up in previous generations may not be the best options for today. Humans are evolving, and children can be our wisest teachers. May we listen to them with our hearts and let their ways unveil fresh new eyes so we may see a whole new world. Yeah, like in that mess, you know, in our adult mess, we can bring out that inner child. We can bring, you know, that free flow, that flight. We can be free, you know, and not want to, you know, control everything and just get locked up in all this ego mind. And you know, yeah, you know, we can be children. We can be, you know, that 7-year-old child we was, but also be an adult. But we can bring joy and laughter, you know, into our everyday world, even if we have to work, and we all do have to work. Spirit's saying, you know, bring that inner child into the situation. Yeah, I like this message, and I know it's a bit muddled, but I'm trying to free flow a little bit more myself. I'm learning that. I'm trying not to be as controlling or, you know, bring that adult to everything. But yeah, you do have to, because I mean, if I went around acting like a 7-year-old child, people would think I'd, yeah, you know, I'd lost. Yeah, yeah. People would be like, well, you can't act like that, you're 47. But Spirit's saying you can bring, you know, that inner child into things. You know, so when we're having a hard day and you know, you feel like this path is just, yeah, you know, too much. Spirit's saying just bring that inner child into it, and a bit of joy and a bit of laughter and more free spirit, you know, more free flight. Yeah, I love this message. Any more? I could do this all night. I say I'm trying to just be more chilled, you know, and just go with it. Any more? Well, I've got these out, so we'll have one more, and I'll leave it there because I do want to keep them shorter. But Spirit says they come out the way they come out. I just said that to me. They come out the way they come out. Ellie, stop trying to control things, Ellie. Yes. One of the positivisms cards. See, I can't say positivisms, but it doesn't matter. I'll just laugh at myself for not being able to pronounce the word. Like, yeah, I'm really learning how to just be more, yeah, chilled, not want to control everything. Okay, one positivism, please, Spirit. Let's finish it off with a good one. Please, Spirit. Let's make sense. They're saying no. In the mess is the magic. On positivism, please, Spirit. Whoop. Finding it hard to grip my cards because I've been working that hard. My hands are sore. I'm a candle maker, you know, so getting ready for the winter markets too, the Christmas market. Oh, what's that one? Let's have a look. Topsy-turvy. Let's have a look. One positivism, please. And there I went. I'm drawn to this one at the bottom of the pack. Is that butterfly again? And peacock. And number 7, which is my life path number. Also, talking about the number 7s, I saw 777 3 times the other day, one after the other. My mother-in-law was with me, and every time I saw it, I was like, 777, and she was like, what? So, you know, she was like, what are you on about? I was like, oh, you'll understand one day, Jan. You'll understand. You'll all understand. And she was like, I don't think I will, but, you know, but yeah. I was seeing 777 all day the other day. I love this card. It's beautiful. Peacock, look. Spreading the wings. Butterfly. She's dancing and she's carefree. Let's have a look what the book says. So, movement helps my energy and emotions to flow. Is that card? Let's have a look. Number 7. So everything in life is constantly moving. And changing. And movement is the key to transformation and creation. If we are not moving our bodies, the energy can't move properly and the emotional bodies can stagnate. Physical movement moves our whole being and is what our bodies are made for. Yeah, you know, when I'm having a rough day, I put some music on and I just dance around my bedroom. I've got a very, very big bedroom, so it's like good space to dance. Within 5-10 minutes, I feel better. And I know why. It's because I'm moving that energy through my body. And plus, also when I do my yoga, I just feel better because, you know, we do need to move, you know, the stuck emotions out of our body, you know, so they don't, yeah, they don't stagnate and cause us harm, you know, physical harm, and illnesses, you know. So yeah, movement, the saying, is very, very important. You know, children move all the time, don't they? You know, show me a child that's not on the go, you know. They're constantly on the go. And yeah, that's because you know, they know then it makes them feel good, you know. So yeah, they say, do you have movement and flow in your life? Are you feeling stuck with emotions, thoughts, or energy flow? There are many ways of moving the body, including physical movement, exercise, yoga, qigong, other physical practices. But it can also be movement through conscious breathing and subtle movement with the eyes. Any way that you can see if a small or big activation exercise can help you and your emotions flow more. So Spirit's saying, you know, choose what you're drawn to. Everyone's different. Oh, excuse me. Everyone's different. And, you know, we're drawn to what we're drawn to. So with me, it is dance. It's somatic dancing and Kundalini yoga. And yeah, I just realised my body loves that, you know, that movement. And I realise it's also moving, you know, that stagnant energy out. And it says, the same goes for our energy and the subtle aspects of our body. Now is the time to integrate more movement into your daily practice to move forward on your healing path. And the symbols, whoop, just let it fall where it needs to fall. So the symbols is the peacock is purity, the angelic realm in the Kurdish Yazidi tradition, and the butterfly is lightness. Yeah, you know, she's free flowing in this card. You don't get any more, you know, spreading your arms out or your wings out, you know, ready to dance and be light. Very, very pretty card. And she's got butterflies surrounding her, all around her. Yeah, you know, kids, they don't sit still, do they? So Spirit's saying, be a child. Be like a child. Be your inner child. You know, bring that inner child out into your everyday life. You know, dance, sing, move your body, you know, like children. And yeah, I mean, look at that card. It's beautiful. And I like the way I've set this out, you know, because it shows a, you know, it shows a story, doesn't it? You know, from you know, the stages of this journey, and at the top of this journey, Spirit's saying to bring our inner child out. You know, it's perfect. And by bringing that inner child out, also, you are closer to the divine. You know, not by coincidence, I've stacked it like this. You know, I could have put this card over here, but I chose to put it on the top. And by bringing that inner child out in us all, we have more connection to source, you know, and divine. And you bring out that joyfulness, that playfulness. I know that I can channel clearer. I'm a more clearer channel. So yeah, you know, we're connected to the divine more, and probably the divine in ourselves too, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I like the way this reading's gone. I've not controlled it, I've just gone with it. I've not expected, you know, it to flow seamlessly, they're saying. Not expected that. But yeah, it's all connected, you know. I'm going to leave it there, and I hope somebody got some messages out of this reading, as topsy-turvy, upside down it may be. But yeah, I like this message. But that's what I'm doing. I'm giving myself that freedom. You know, I'm not going to lock myself in my mind anymore. I do know there's many chapters to write. I know that, and I know it's my story to write, and I create, you know, what I think and what happens, you know. I create like my reality, you know. So what I think, I create. What I write, I create. What I speak, I create. We are the creators of our own reality. But you know, I'm learning on this journey not to be stuck in this prison of my mind. I'm learning to, you know, be more free, you know, a bit more freedom. I'm definitely learning to dance. Yeah, you know, just learning to be a bit more free and a bit more childlike. And, you know, when you do bring that into you, you do create, you know, leaps forward, fast forward movement, you know, on your path. You do create that. I know that when I'm in my full my inner child, you know, when I'm dancing around my bedroom, when I'm being silly, when I'm not being too serious, you know, being too adult, I create big movements on this journey. I know I do. I've you know, I've seen it unravel like that. Yeah, I love this message. It's a bit messy, but that's what it started off with. You know, Spirit's saying it doesn't always have to, you know, be controlled, you know, to make sense of, you know. In the mess is the magic. In the mess is the inner child, you know. You just bring that inner child out, you know, and that's where the magic is. Yeah, the mess is the magic, is what we're saying. Oh, what's that one? Yeah, I shall leave it there, and I shall speak to you all soon. Bye.